things has happened. And so for this, Pastor Fosti was chatting with me whilst I was in America, and we're trying to find out how do we go about 1990. I said, don't worry, when it comes. And so God spoke to me clearly. He said, deal with oracles. And so now I started to go deep and find out that we as Christians have been praying. We have broken altars. We have done all the gymnastics. But still, some people are suffering. And why are those people still suffering? Is it that God is not answering? Is it that Pastor Michael is not fasting enough? What is the issue that is causing people's problem to remain from January till now? And it's not changing. And so I started to dig further, and the Lord opened my eyes to understand that when an altar is erected, there are 7 components, 7 things that controls an altar. 7 things that controls an altar. And so God showed me that number 1 thing that controls an altar is what we call a covenant. A covenant. At every altar, there is a covenant. At every altar, there is a covenant. Number 2, so anytime they build an altar, the one who builds the altar with the one he's meeting, the way they are mean to meet, God comes to Abraham and said, you are my friend, but from today, I want to move our friendship into a covenant. So there are times you can decide that I want to move my relationship with God into a covenant. And so in Abraham's case, he decided to do some things with God. So you too, as a child of God, can say that I want to move into a covenant with God. And my covenant is, God, from today, when they play this drum, I'm going to buy it with my money. So anytime they strike it, let the demons in my house be running. So it is your covenant with what? With God. And so you buy it and it is there. So people are wondering, say, you are not troubled like the way we are troubled. They don't know the reason. Because you have something hidden which you didn't tell everybody, which is a covenant. In the covenant, we call it in my hometown language, babla. Babla means adia wodi achichere won. Eta na babla bla ore. Ome dia dokwe. Okay. I'm not in Eweland, I'm in Accra. Okay. So, Babla or covenant controls an altar. There is a covenant with God on this altar. One day, somebody met me and said, you have completed university, and why won't you go and look for a job? You have masters in Christian education. I used to teach in a university. He said, why won't you go to lecture somewhere? And then I would say, now God must give me a particular assignment. There is a reason why I don't sell tomatoes. There is a reason why I don't count people's money in the bank and work as a cashier. There is a reason why, because I and God we have a covenant. And I told God, if I do this job, you must do this part for me. And so this altar has a covenant with God. We have an agreement, but there is a covenant between me and God. Nubabla on Penielcity. So others can fail, Penel can fail, because there is a covenant. We transacted something. I told God that if you are taking my university certificate, then you must make sure you must show yourself. So we must go on a deal. So anytime there is an altar, there is a covenant. 2, anytime there is an altar, there is a sacrifice. An altar is not powerful until there is a sacrifice. Sacrifice are the auction sales. This is serious. Sacrifice is an auction sales. If it's a battery, you change the battery. So when I say sacrifice and auction sales, I and Brad Livingston, today is his birthday. So I'll take a sacrifice from him. All right, then I'll give him a sacrifice. Okay. So now if he and me are on an issue, okay, then he decides that he is going to go into a covenant with God with a sacrifice and tell God that all her female children are supposed to be doctors. So God, I will do this for you and make sure that all my female daughters are doctors. So he does that, and whether the girl is born or not born, by the time you are born, you are already, your father gave you up long time before you were born. So when you are born, what your father said before you were born controls you. So now, if that child does not become a doctor and you want to switch it into something, then you need a higher sacrifice, so that what he said about the girl, you can change it. So the sacrifice, it goes by weight. If yours is not heavy, it doesn't work. So if somebody sacrifices at an altar, the weight of your sacrifice is not the amount, it is the heart that is behind it. So if somebody sacrifices 10,000 Ghana, you also sacrifice 200 Ghana. Your 200 Ghana may be small, but there is a God that weighs. Are you understanding? So your sacrifice is the bargaining ticket. Okay, I'll talk about that next year, but let's continue. The third component that controls an altar is called an oracle. An oracle. Every altar is controlled by an oracle. An oracle. And today I'm majoring on oracles. Oracles. Point number 4. I'll come back to oracles. Point number 4. A thing that component that controls an altar is called a token. A token. And so God says unto Abraham, you are going into a covenant with me. You brought animals for the covenant, but this will be a sign between me and you. And so circumcision was their token. Then from there, we go to point number 5. That is, there must be a promise. There must be a promise. There must be a promise. I promise never to leave you or never to forsake you. And so no matter what it is, my wife, she likes planning. She enjoys thinking ahead. I enjoy moving one step at a time by faith. So she will keep asking, when are you doing this? Won't you do this? Then I said, when we get there. She doesn't understand. So sometimes I tell you, when you grow a little, I don't expect her to grow by age, but you need to grow by faith. Your faith with God is not the same faith I have. Don't deceive yourself. We may be in the same church, but we don't carry the same grace. Everybody's grace is different. We can be classmates, but not grace mates. Because my grace may be different from your grace. It is my prayer that your faith grows, because there is little faith, no faith, and great faith. So faith must grow. And so I believe God one step at a time. I move one step. So what is going to happen? And you are traveling. When we travel, moving from here to here to here, how do we move? Can't we get some money down for transportation? Even 3 months before you leave, he's thinking of transportation from one state to another state. I said, when we get there. She's worried. It's part of her. That is her. We only be son. But when she grows, she will understand. She will understand. So it is step by step. You get there. And when you get there, you don't worry. Because if I walk with God, if God wants me to have it, I will have it. If he doesn't want me to have it, he should keep it. Because if it's my time and I'm praying, I am fasting, I'm doing what it takes, he will show up. So we have tokens, then we have promises, then we have vows. The vow depends now on the one who is going to the covenant with the deity. The Obani Sunsum Nabeya Pamono. And Krofobi like can go to Achia, take egg, take something, and tell the river that if you do this, that, I will do this. So what you are telling the deity is your vow. It's your vow. Then the last thing is an oath. We call it a tamkesie. You seal it with it. So you find out, write it down. I'm going all over from Saturday because people have not come to church from Saturday. And some people are not even understand. When I say oracle, they think something have dropped from heaven. So let's take time, you understand. Genesis chapter 15, verse 12 to verse 21. I may not read it. I'm going to tell you what is there. We don't have time. So Genesis 15 verse 12 to 21. Abraham comes to God from verse 1 and tells God that I need a child. You have delayed in making me get a child. Why are you delaying like that? And God said that I will let a child come from your stomach. And I will let your own wife carry the child. Then he said, oh God, at this age, can I still carry a child? Sankalbeyanka, you should have done it a long time. The good news I want to tell somebody as I break to tell you is that God is never late. I'm talking to one person. I say God is never late. He will show up on your case by all means. Anybody shouting an amen, may God do it for you. I say God is never late on your case. So God tells him that, listen, I am moving our friendship into a covenant. So Abraham, come with some animals. Let's come into an agreement. So if we must have a covenant, the covenant must have a sacrifice, which I've told you. So he comes with an animal and divides the animal into two. One half here, one half here. Because in those days, that's what they did. Then you who is doing the covenant with a friend, you walk through the blood to this side. Then the person who is at this side will also walk through the parted animals and the blood to this side. And you tell yourself, as long as this animal cannot join and become a living child or a living animal, me, the covenant I have with you, is burnt forever. So he kills the animal and he's expecting God to come. He was waiting. Then he saw birds coming. The birds were attacking the things, carcass he has created. He sat them, kept chasing the birds. Until Oluman got tired. So he sat down and God injected him with a sleep. Then he slept in a deep sleep. And when he slept, God came down and said that, Abraham, if I go into a covenant with you, you will fail me. Because I see that even from today, you have a plan in your head, which you have not yet said it is in your head. And so God, I swear by myself. So God himself went through the species as a cloud of fire, as a torchlight, went through the peace, went and came back and said, me, I've taken a covenant with myself. And in the midst of all your brothers, me, God, have decided I want you, Abraham. Wow. So God decides that I'm not going to bless anybody, but Abraham, me, I've sworn to be with you. Then Abraham wakes up. Then when Abraham woke up, God now tells him that, listen, where you are lying, baby, it belongs to 10 people, 10 nations. It's not yours. But God, I will take it from them and I'll give it to you. So God now starts telling him things. Then he tells him that, now, your descendants will possess all this I'm giving to you. But right now, you don't have a child. This is serious. But if I don't have a child, how does my descendants get 10 cities? Then God said, when your descendants start giving birth, God, will take them into captivity for 400 years. When 400 years is over, I will bring them back and punish those I made them to serve under. This is God. God sometimes, you don't understand him. Because you want somebody to punish me. After that, you will punish the person for punishing me. God is interesting. It's very interesting. Maybe when we get to heaven, we will ask why. So now, Abraham leaves the scene after God has sworn with him. Then he leaves the scene. Then in the next chapter, the wife comes to him and said, God said he will give us a child. But do you know that our custom here demands and can say that even if your maid gives birth, it can be yours. Why don't you take my maid? So what God told Abraham, Satan is attacking it. God has told him that you yourself and your wife, he didn't say your maid. Now Satan knows that if the guy waits till his child comes, the thing will happen. This is idea. Let me cross him before the child comes. So the problem you are going through, don't you remember the day they gave birth to you? Class 1, class 4. When you were going to write exam, it took them hell to pay your exam fees. Because Satan knows that if you go to school, if you get a good marriage, if you get money, they know that you obey ye. Can you just remember the last time you had some 300 on you and you went to your hometown? You bought about 7 bread and you were going from house to house distributing bread. And they said, oh, wabo. Because everybody knows that you are Father Christmas. Everybody knows that when you come, we will eat. Everybody knows that. So it tells you that you have a good heart. But up to today, if I tell you, give us 10,000 Ghana for our project. So you have a good heart, but Satan has crossed what God has said. But today, we are going to pray. Whatever God said about you, and Satan has crossed it. Somebody scream fire 3 times. Let's go. I have a few minutes. I'll push this thing. So now, Satan is attacking it. Yesterday night I told them that God comes to Judah and tells Judah that out of you will come out the king. Then Satan realizes that if I allow Judah to produce the king, something will happen. So when you start reading the Bible, Genesis 36, Genesis 37 talks about Joseph. Then 38, nothing. Then it jumps to 39. And 38 talks about a guy called Judah. Now, Judah is one of the brothers of Joseph. Now, Judah Bible says he left his brethren, or free the will of God, and went and married and had 3 sons. And now all the 3 sons started growing. And he, Judah, decided to look for wife for them, one by one. The first one had a wife. When he was so wicked, God killed him. Then he said the second one can marry the first one and have children in the name of the first. Then he said, no, I don't want to give birth for my brother's name. So when the child is about to enter, he pulls out. And God said, this is total wickedness. God killed him. So the man has one child left. And now wonders that if one woman has killed 2 of my children, should I add the 3rd one? What if he kills the 3rd one? So he tells him that, no. You go. When my last born is old, I'll bring him. The girl realized that the father-in-law was deceiving him. Hey. So she was at her hometown. When he heard the father-in-law was coming there, then she went and changed like a prostitute and stand by the roadside. And when the father-in-law came, the father-in-law went and picked a prostitute. Then he asked the prostitute, how much will you charge? He said, I won't take money. I want your shoe. I want your belt. I want your staff. Bema wewura heaven. My shoe. Oh, take it. My belt. Oh, I can't do my trouser like this. Take it. You want the staff to that one? Take it. Bema wewura heaven. Okay, let me jump that one. I told some people I was counseling with. I went to counsel for some people in California, and I told them something. Let me jump that one. Continue. But let me say this to men. Be careful what you say when you are at the gate of Jerusalem. Be very careful. Because since that time, women use that as a trump card. They use that. That is where they will hold you. Because you too, you want to cross to Jerusalem. Then he said, hold on. 3 cloth. 2 shoe. Brazier. Bag. It's Christmas, so 3 chicken. Brazilian, all of that. Be very careful, men. This is a free advice. Let's continue. So this man, his firstborn sleeps with the same woman. Secondborn sleeps with the same woman. Then he, Judah, went and slept. Do you know why Satan did that? The guy is supposed to produce the king. So Satan crossed him so that he messed up his life. And that is what we call the power of an oracle. Satan takes the word that has been spoken over your life. And yesterday I showed you from Psalm 40 verse 7 and 8. Which says that, what does it say? Psalm 7. Psalm 40 verse 7 and 8. What does it say? What has been written concerning me in the books? So there is a statement written about you. Satan wants to thwart it. Satan wants to thwart it. So there are people, they are very brilliant. And if it is not the brother that impregnated them along the way, they would have become medical doctors. They would have become the savior of the family. But Satan knows that if I allow this guy to finish school, he will help the family. Sadia or their crossing. You will meet somebody who become a weed smoker, introduce you to weed, and you are finished. And you are wondering, me beyo. It is what has been written. Satan is fighting. So I'm coming to today's preaching. All what I'm saying is for Saturday, Sunday. I'm preaching on what I call today the unseen oracle controlling the seen life. The unseen oracle controlling the seen life. One day, a prophet was consulted. And when they consulted the prophet, they asked the prophet that, we are going to battle. Our food is finished. Our animals are about to die. What must we do? And the king said, this is an easy thing for God to do. Point number 1. I want you to dig holes. Go and sleep, God will fill it. Nyame na akasa o. Nyame na akasa. The people went and slept. The following day, there was water. They drank the water and they entered battle. They were winning. Then the one they were winning said, why are you winning me like this? So he went and took his firstborn. That is sacrifice. So when they went to the priest, they went to Elijah. They didn't carry a sacrifice. So they want to fight that word Elijah has spoken. So they carry a sacrifice. And now went and killed his firstborn on the altar. And when the firstborn died on the altar, Bible said, what the prophet said, reverse. Is it that God is not powerful? No, God respects covenant. God respects sacrifice. And so sometimes what is happening in your life is that your sacrifice is not. Let's take an offering right now, and you see people giving 1 cedi. Let's close and go and buy bread. You will see them pull 5 cedi. It's your heart. It's your heart. Because some people believe that if I give God 20 cedi, I'll be poor. I won't know what I will eat. But me, I've given my salary 3 months. Even the ones ahead, I gave it, and still I'm surviving. Are you understanding? There are things you can do for God. You don't live by salary. Who told you live by salary? I traveled to Europe with money. The money I went with was $800. Where I went through, things I brought, gifts I came with, is more than $800. My money is still in my pocket. Only coffee and tea I bought my wife from my money. The rest is in my pocket. Are you understanding? The things I bought didn't come from $800. What am I telling you? Listen, your life can be taken care of by God, not the money in your pocket. If you are clapping, may heaven answer your need. Listen, instrumentalists can play instrument. When we finish, we'll give you malt. When we finish, we give you some money for transport. If you think, yesterday my son asked me a question. When I went to, yesterday I decided that I'm going to pick him from school because for a long time I've not had time to chat with him. So I went myself to his school to pick him. When we were coming there, he said, Daddy, don't you see that the instrumentalists, when they come to church, they only come to church when they like. And he was saying very serious things. Then I said, you keep learning. That's why I want you to learn how to play the keyboard in addition to he's learning how to play drums in his school. And we've bought him drumsticks. And so he comes, he takes your phone and he goes straight to how to play drums on the internet. He's learning it. And I tell him that when you do things for God, you don't charge God because God can take care of your life. If you live your life with a bottle of malt, after drinking the malt, you are finished. But when you live your life on grace, if you live your life on what God can do for me and not what I can get from God, you will go far. But this one, it's not everybody's faith. Oh, this is my faith. It may take you a long time to get there, but I pray you get there. Oh, you will get there by all means. Because look, there are some things you may not do it like I do, but I have come to understand God, that God can take care of you more than what they pay you. What they pay you. This is, we are in 11th year in Peniel. There is no record anywhere. No record in bank anywhere that Michael Noagbewonu, I took salary from this church. Never. 11 years. No allowance, no salary. 11 years. Am I dead? There is a time in life and you must believe God. If God will not do it, let it remain undone. One step at a time. One step at a time. If I don't have it, I'm not in a rush. I was preaching this week somewhere. I was telling them, Jacob slept heaven open and he saw ladder. So when you see ladder, ladder is step by step. It tells you that life, it is step by step. Don't be in a rush. Oh, pastor went to America. Me too, I'll go to America. Go to the airport. Don't be in a rush. Life is what? Step by step. If I get there, I will get there. If my time comes, nothing can stop me. If my season comes, nothing can stop me. I don't hold my life in competition with you. If you have it, praise God. If my time comes, I will have it. I'm not in competition with you. So you must grow. You must move that level from friendship to a covenant to a sacrifice, and know that God, I love you by force. So he now moves. Let's go to what I'm going to say today. The unseen. Now God is telling the prophet, I'll give you the thing. The people go into battle and they are losing. So as God lied, what is fighting them is that there is a sacrifice that is fighting the battle. If Israel want to change it, they need to put a heavier sacrifice. For somebody to close their shop and come and pray, it's a sacrifice. That is why when you open the shop, it cannot be like yesterday. Because your case must be what? I left a lot of things which I could have done to get me money. But if I left it and I came to church, then when I open my shop, customers must come from left, right, and center. If you are clapping, receive that favor on your life. If you are clapping, receive that honor on your life. I said, if you are clapping louder, may God open the door for you. I'm going to quote one scripture and close. Enter with you to prayer. There is an unseen thing. Now, when the prophet was telling them this is a small thing, he said, you will not see wind, you will not see rain, but the valley shall be filled. Let's do grammar. Teachers, are you here? I said, teachers, are you here? Teachers, are you here? Let's do grammar. Can you see water? Water, can you see it? You can see water. Yes, sir. How many of you have seen wind before? Wind, you have seen some before. So when the prophet said you shall not see wind, wrong grammar. The prophet on Tibrofo. Why should the prophet say you will not see wind? And didn't say you will not feel wind? Because we feel wind, we don't see wind. So he says that, but your holes will be filled. What he was telling them is that there is something you will not see with your eyes, but you will see it controlling the physical. There is a statement. Let's go to that one and write it. All Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 20. That's what I'm preaching on. Ecclesiastes 10:20. See, I started dealing with oracles. No one can say, so I didn't now kind of cross me. Don't worry. Until I come back in the evening, I will take time. I'll go over it again until you understand it. Until you understand what an oracle is. Because me, myself, God is showing me things day by day. I say, wow, wow. So I break the altar, but I didn't know that there is what? There is an oracle. One day, I was chatting with my father. Then my father and my mother is here. Then my father told me that they have a place in our hometown, a shrine in their house. I know my father comes from the royal house. And they have a shrine there. And that shrine, when they harvest yam in our village, they must take the yam into the shrine before anybody eats the yam. Then I said, I never knew you have a shrine in your house, because we are breaking other things. And I didn't know that the thing, some is in my house. So I started praying and breaking. Now, when he told me that, we went for missions in my hometown. Then the one who sits on top, basically, the one who holds the father of the stool, which is my senior uncle, the father of the stool, comes to give us a gift. He's a chief elder. And the whole chief tendency, what they will put you on as a chief to sit on, he controls it. Now he brought us a gift and brought a gift for all the missionaries, and the gift was a yam. He brought us big avaze. You know avaze? Avaje. You don't know avaje? Water yam. Your friend is saying afasie. If you see the yam, your mouth will start dropping water. Hey, huge. My mother was sharing. Won't you take this to the house? I said, share it for your children. Share it for them. Where I'm coming from, what I have heard, they take yam into the room before the first person eats. Then me too, I will come and say, I'm a pastor. I came from mission. I gave the missionaries to go and eat. Me, my faith does not make me eat those things. Pastor Michael, you don't believe. I don't believe. Please, if you believe, go and tell my mother he'll bring you more avase. But me, I don't believe those things. Because no problem. But now, you know. So, what do they say when they take the yam to the idol? What do they say? It is an unseen. It is unseen. Obi kasa yemfa yeni hu e yemframa, but asem no de na no kan ye no asem no e controlling what happens. Wo ube bodam asem na waka no, you don't see it in the air. It is unseen, but ube once any pano hide there bodam. So you, as you are crossing the road, ka be bo am ye de Sophie asesa. And you don't see the word following the person, but that word is an unseen oracle controlling the physical. Look at this scripture and let's close. Do not curse the king, even in your thought. Do not curse the. Can I get another definition? Another version, please. King James, I'm used to King James. Good. I like this one. Curse not the king, not in your thought. So a curse is an ill wish, either spoken or imagined. It's a curse. So there are people right now who are thinking of something about you. That is why the Bible says that anything that exalts itself is a casting down imagination. So as we are sitting like this, people are thinking, wicked plans. They have not told you, doesn't mean doesn't exist. It's in their head. That is why I like that proverb. Adu konu. We are praying. The prayer is in just these two lines. Do not curse the king, nor do not in your thought, or curse the rich man in your room. Don't do it in secret. Don't do it when the person cannot see it. Because even when you do it, what you have said, it will appear. A bird will carry it. What am I talking about today? There is a power we call an oracle that is unseen. That you may say it, nobody may see it. Even as we sit here, there were things people said over our fathers we didn't see. But I'm telling you, they control how we are feeling today. You are going to pray, and your prayer is one today. If somebody is worrying you, leave where the person is sitting and look for a space. You are going to pray. Any unseen oracle they spoke in their head, in their heart, they have imagined about me and my children. Whatever they have said with their mouth that I didn't hear. I told you yesterday, when they speak, you must speak back. That's what we call oracle versus oracle. Because you yourself, you are an oracle. Have I defined an oracle? Okay, that is for those who came on Sunday and yesterday. Okay, so I gave them 7. Yesterday I gave you about how many? 7 or 5. Yesterday I gave 5. Right now I'm giving you only 1. Sorry, you didn't come to church. Sorry, I'm against time. Time is fighting me now. So I'm going to give you 1. An oracle is a mysterious word. I told them the first day that an oracle is a word that is spoken in ambiguity or is speaking in obscurity, hidden, but it has some power behind it. So an oracle is a mysterious word. And then you are seeing some stress happening. See how I didn't to offer. Or baby that thing happens to them. Or baby that thing happens to them. Why is it like that? There is an oracle holding their life. I use my friend as example and close. Can I use my Millicent? Can I use as example? Millicent was born as a young child, walking, playing around, till she got to 5 years and fell sick. Then when she fell sick, she went to the hospital. And the doctor said, you are not well. Let's give you an injection. Then give him an injection. Pa! The mother carried the young child to the house. At her back, she got home, the playing baby. She removed the child and put the child down. The child has not walked again. This is Millicent today. Somebody, but if I look at Millicent by face, what a beautiful girl. If I listen to the kind of wisdom she has, what a wise girl. If I listen to her sing, I wonder what kind of voice is this. Satan sees that 30 years ahead of you and sends a doctor. So you there, you think that me buy a call hospital and you want a panier known to me nante. It is an oracle they spoke that is fighting you, is unseen, but is controlling your sin. This morning you are going to pray. Whatever is controlling my world, I didn't know, but not knowing Satan is the one fighting me. Today, God, arise by fire. Arise by fire. There are people who get angry unnecessarily. Unnecessarily. And the one who must help you is the one you got angry with. What Satan is doing is that yesterday I told them, do you understand what aklamedome? You don't understand that ewe too. Oh, today I've spoken a lot of ewe. No klamedome. Me know you're fine. Now, if you phone him say, see that's you're fine. Si kebi ba, ye be tu asoja fo si kebi. Na se ba, cash I'll bet ya mama no. Ebe mama to brand new ties. It is a sad year. Ye be me BBC. Na me ni wenya kasa. Hey, and I was soon, and hey, Mina Mason, in a friend there, send out the machine, send out her mason, say, in your madam will be, who your mamma, then they will separate you. Then immediately they separate you, her money come. When her money come, she has got a new friend, and she knows that Michael cry, he fought with me. I won't mind him. I won't mind him. So Satan knows that 30 years ahead, I'll get a miracle. Today, if there is any oracle controlling the way I'm behaving today, you can see, I know girls who are not married today simply because of something they said. Ya kasa into obema bar. Unya me class. Unya me taste. Uye too short. Utrinye fududo. Now, three of you do Baba near Dobeko. Obi Consul. Look at that. Your teeth is not nice at all. If my teeth is not nice, can't you take me to a dentist to shape it properly? And then quite the brace is shenu. Now I rearrange you will say. In so a sense, we fear from person be warranty. The obe shebia yesen. The obe shebia yason. I said it last Sunday. I was telling them in church. My wife is very blessed to marry me. If she have said she will marry me, she would have cursed her stars. Stand on your feet. If I don't marry A and I marry B, if you want to show respect to who you show respect to, is the B. So there are some things you get is because of who you are linked to. Lift up your hands. Dealing with the unseen oracle that controls my sin life. Are you ready to pray? Today is only one prayer. One. Exactly 12:15. You have got 30 minutes non-stop. If where you are standing will worry you, move the chair, put it in another place, get a space. We are going 30 minutes non-stop. I'm not giving you any prayer topic again till I see you in the evening. When I'm dropping, I take offering and I close. Shout and say, I declare.
I declare.
It's for yourself. If you want space here, come for space. Say, I declare.
I declare.
This morning, I speak into the air. Any oracle, I can't feel you. Any oracle, any word that have been spoken into the air about my life, concerning my life, concerning my finance, as I clap and pray, I destroy the oracle. Any oracle that is not seen but controls my sin, I declare, catch fire, catch fire. Mami power zemna ya mampire.